Hello, and thank you for your interest in Workpack. Today, I'm going to show you how our AI quantitative takeoff solution can improve your accuracies and dramatically cut the time it takes for you to produce quantitative takeoff. While we do recommend scheduling a personal demo with one of our account executives, today's short demo will allow you a brief introduction into the work that we do here at Workpack. If you have any follow-up questions or seek any more additional information, please visit workpack.ai to schedule your demo today. So let's dive right in to Workpack. Here's our dashboard where we upload our documents. PDF is the format that we use to put into the software. It's going to return something that looks like this. This is a document that was used by a customer who found tremendous returns while using Workpack. The first thing you're going to notice is that the software picks up the names and page numbers, also the scale of the document automatically, making navigation very simple and easy. Even though this is a very large document, we can jump from the schedules to the work floor patterns. What we're going to do in the first step with Workpack is identify where we would like the software to look inside of. Instead of returning a bunch of unknown numbers from an entire document, we tell the AI the location we want it to look at. Then we're going to specify the data inside of those parameters so that it returns the information that we want it to return. So the first step that you need to do while using Workpack is identifying the scope. So what we're going to do here is manually select the region that we want the software to look inside. We're going to come in here and name it whatever we want, but in this case we'll call it floor 1. The computer doesn't care what we call it, but for our purposes it makes it simple. Now, to give it a little bit more of a test, we're going to add another floor to the process. And again, all we're going to do is select the region inside of which we want the AI to look at. It's as simple as that. What we're then going to do is create appropriate labels for the computer to identify inside of these ranges that we've set up. So for this document, the walls are designated by these symbols starting in 0S, ending in a number and a letter. What we're going to do is say, this is our wall label. And I just hit Command and click, and it has put a box around this label, which will then look inside of this space and identify every single one of these by their particular model and number. We're going to come in and say, with a command click, this is our door label, and it put a box around it just like that. We'll do the same with our windows. So we're just going to zoom out a bit, and we know that A23 or an A23 over here, these are our window labels, but all we have to do is click, command click, and we have our window label template set up. We'll do the same thing with our room labels, which is as simple as command click. And now we've set up our walls, doors, windows, and room labels. Now, one of the great things that Workpack does is it will take your door and room finish schedules and match that to the information inside of the scope that we set earlier. So what I'm going to do is come to our door schedule here, and we are going to tell the AI that this is the door schedule we want it to match up to the various rooms and floors that we have identified previously. So it's as simple as clicking Add Table Template, and we are going to include this entire table here. We're going to identify it as the door schedule. Easy enough. And then we're also going to use the room finish schedule right here. Now, this is the first step in using Workpack. It's very important, and it's the entire first training that you will receive once you start using Workpack. So as you can see here, we have now appropriately set up what we would like the software to look at. We're going to click Process here, and it will allow us to see what exactly we're having Workpack look at. You can click and unclick any of these things here to reduce the processing time. However, it's still very fast and accurate if you just want this information to have as backup. So we also have our door schedule and our room finish schedule. So it's as easy as that. We've set it up, and now the AI is looking at all of the information that we gave it, and it's going to produce results for us. Now, the important thing when using Workpack is sort of understanding the fundamental processes that AI helps us with. AI is not an entire autopilot system. We call it a co-pilot system because what we do is we set up what it would like to look at. It produces a rough draft, which then the senior estimator or anyone else can go in and correct and modify to meet the specs that you know about a specific project. So the way we also describe Workpack is it's like an intern that has no feelings, and it also doesn't care how much work you end up giving it. And if you delete its work, it won't get its feelings hurt. And if you modify everything, it also won't. But what it allows you to do is instead of pointing and clicking and tracing walls and objects and symbols, you now are going to get an 80% done rough draft with 5% of the work on the front end, which we just did, labeling the rooms, the templates, the symbols, and the tables. That is going to produce the 80% rough draft. The remaining 20% is the work that you're going to do to correct and then ultimately export into your Excel once you have confirmed that the document is labeled correctly the way you see fit. So again, this is not an autopilot system where I put an 81-page document through the AI. It is a co-pilot. So it allows you to focus on your strengths, which is long-term planning and thinking, but also staying involved in the takeoff process. So the second part of your training will be the next part we're going to do, which is correcting and updating and modifying the returns of the document. As you can see here, the AI has finished processing the document. So let's take a look and see what it returned. Now this is going to look done. However, as I said before, it is not done because we have to go in and make sure that the computer did the appropriate things. So you will see here that we have returned a lot of great data because this is a very well labeled document. We'll come in here and you can filter on and off everything that you want it to return from walls, doors, windows, and rooms. And it's as simple as clicking those on and off. And so you see that it is labeled all of these walls here. And you'll see 11111, OS 6A has returned 25. Come in here and click the 3 small periods, click grouping mode, and it's going to show us only those walls that it returned. So if you're interested in looking at all those walls, you can now see every one of them in the document, which allows you to go to a specific room, go to a specific place, edit, and correct. That returned very good for us. We're going to come into now the door labels and the doors. Now you'll notice that these doors next to them have an M, which stands for matching, which means that the table has accurately cross-referenced the door schedule with the doors in this document. And if you come over here, you can see that this now has all of the information in the door schedule, including the material, frame type, and any other swing information that is important for you. So we find this is one of the most efficient ways for door takeoffs, because instead of pointing and clicking and then opening up two screens to see what type of a door is what, it produces all this information here. Additionally, if you edit the document here, it's going to edit back in the table that you export to Excel. So you're not having to redo your work, and ultimately what is drawn in the design is going to be procured or bid on, making your process way more efficient. So again, we still have to go in and check and make sure everything is done properly, because the computer has no context. It doesn't have any ambitions, and it relies on us solely to tell it what it is. So I'm going to come in here and say these 7 doors are unlabeled, and we can come in here. You as the senior estimator or the person close to this project know exactly what these doors are. Now they look like they're stall doors, which are not labeled, and we can either change them to the bathroom door, which is now labeled all of these as bathroom door, or we can simply delete them, because we don't need that for our takeoff. Come back here and you can see that our windows have matched. Our windows have been labeled correctly. And you can see here where all those were returned. The last thing I want to quickly show you is how easy you can also do your own takeoffs in a point and click fashion. We call it sort of old-fashioned Stone Age way. However, what it allows you to do is stay comfortable with what you know as you progress into the future of AI and sort of software takeoff. What we're going to do is click the filter button, turn on linear measurements, come down here, click add, and we're going to put an outdoor shed, that we know there's an outdoor shed. We're going to click the plus button, come over here, click, click 4 times, and now we have our outdoor shed showing 54 feet 32. And you can do that for anything inside, whether that's backing on a wall or additional outdoor elements that you see fit. But what it allows you to do is to change things, add things. You're still in control. And what this AI does that ChatGPT or any of the other image producing or video producing things doesn't do is it allows you to edit the results. So let's say if you ask ChatGPT where you should go for lunch, it produces results. You say you want a turkey sandwich and not hamburgers, you have to start all the way over and give it a new prompt. With Workpack, you can edit and modify those results right before you export them. So, take you to the final step of Workpack here. We're going to click Export to Excel. And this is all of the things that we wanted to export, making it easy for us to say these are the things. And we can also go down specifically just to the walls, doors, or rooms, or the linear measurements of the outdoor shed that we made together. But just for demo's sake, we will have all of these things produced. Once you have this, you are going to be able to cut that information down, edit it as you see fit, and use it for your takeoff and bidding. So what we will show you here is we're going to insert, click on the top left, insert a pivot table. And we at Workpack are not Excel wizards. However, we will show you how you may use it. We're going to, from the doors, click each, come down, and we can then filter by the door material, the door type, the frame type, and it's going to give us these nice numbers right here. So thank you so much for joining us today of the brief overview of Workpack. Again, if you have additional questions, please visit us at workpack.ai, where we can schedule a personal demo for you, and we will answer all of your questions, and we promise you that you will find meaningful returns immediately by using Workpack for your quantitative takeoff. Thank you for your time again.